What is going on, guys? It has been a minute since I've just sat down in my office and gave you guys value straight to the camera. So that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So I want to bring you guys up to speed on where I've been. And I also want to bring you up to speed on the different types of content that we're going to have rolling forward on this channel. But first, let me pop my shirt down because it looks like I am obese with rolls. So over the last 6 months, I've been working with a content director, Ayush Swami, and he's been fantastic. However, I wanted to change my content a little bit coming into this new season of life. And this new season of life is post, marriage, post honeymoon. And I want to get back into kind of just doing content on the fly, doing content, with my own, just doing content my way, right? Which is putting a camera on and talking and delivering value and not doing super scripted stuff, not doing stuff that's super optimized, but content that's just natural, organic, and authentic to me. So what we're going to be doing, moving forward is YouTube videos every single week, but they're going to be trainings from me, from the heart, not content that I had scripted that's optimized for sales, or content that, we are trying to, get a ton of views on, but content that is based off conversations that I'm having in real life, in my business, and more so documenting my journey as I continue to grow PTBI, as I continue to, learn and grow myself. So for the last, I would say last month was September. So that's the 9 months. So from January to September, I was pretty much locked into the wedding. So I got married on September 7th, which is about a month ago exactly. And so all of my time, all of my focus for this year was really just on that deadline. Like, hey, we're getting married this day. And then we go on a 2-week honeymoon in Europe. And that trip was fantastic. But now that we're back, now we're settled, I'm ready for a new chapter. This new chapter is going to be another 6-month sprint. And we leave for Bali. Bali, maybe Austin too. So we're going to be moving to Austin, but we might do a month or two in Bali before we move to Austin. So what that's going to look like is move all of our stuff in Vegas into a storage unit, get on a plane and live in Bali for about a month or two, or maybe 3, and then come back to Vegas and move all of our stuff to Austin and live in Austin. That's the plan for now. It's going to probably happen in March. But without further ado, I want to get into the topic of this video, which is my camera gear evolution over the last decade. I recently just upgraded all of my camera gear very impulsively. I spent way too much money, and but it's been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And now that we're back in Vegas, and I know that I'm going to be putting a lot more content, I want to make sure that I have the best tools, right? And so I remember Sam Ovens saying something along the lines that, we are creators, and as creators, we need to invest in our tools, right? And our tools is the equipment that we use on a day-to-day basis to do our job, right? If you're a blacksmith, then you want to have the best tools a blacksmith needs to be able to get the best job done and charge the most money. If you're a creator, that's going to come down to your camera gear and your equipment and, you're pretty much your home office setup. So I have this really great mic for good audio. I have a really great camera for good camera quality. I have a really good, home office setup that I'm looking at right now for me to be as productive as possible. And that allows me to produce more good work of my craft. But it didn't always start that way, right? I had a journey. There was a point where I had a really shitty laptop, at my mom's house with no camera gear at all. And now that I'm 28, I have all the bells and whistles. So I want to take you on this journey to show you exactly where I came from when it comes to camera gear. So that way you can see and kind of map and chart your own course on how you can improve your quality and your craftsmanship over the next 10 years as well. So I'm going to move over to our screen, and I'm going to, let's do this. Okay, so let's take you back to the very, very beginning. So this is my YouTube channel, and I've had this channel for a very long time now. You can see I've had it for about a decade. And I had another YouTube channel before this one for about a year or two. So I've been on YouTube for, more than 10 years. And you can see this very first video that I put, I'm not going to play the audio because it's extremely cringe, but I'm literally filming on my iPhone. The video is vertical. I'm filming I didn't even know how to film horizontal, but this is the very first video that I posted. And so that's step number 1, right? If you're just getting started, all you really need is an iPhone. Sure, you could have, a camera and, but if you just film with an iPhone and film horizontal, you'll be all set. Especially the cameras that we have nowadays on iPhones. If you have the iPhone 15, iPhone 16, or iPhone whatever, the camera quality is going to be pretty damn decent for you to be able to do a good job on, YouTube or even Instagram. So that's where I would start is step number one is just an iPhone. Now, the next thing, if you go over to videos, you go to oldest, I actually got a GoPro, right? And I actually wouldn't recommend a GoPro at all, just because it's a super wide angle lens and there's not much versatility with it. Like for the gym, like this, it's just not the best. This is my old ex-girlfriend from a long time ago. See, and you can't even, there's not even like a viewfinder you can even really see. Now, I don't know what the GoPros look like nowadays. It's been years since I've had this. Like you can see, it's been almost 10 years. But there's no, oh, I look pretty jacked though. Damn. There's no way that you can adjust the lighting or anything like that. So I would just recommend skipping the GoPro in general. Now from there, what I ended up getting after that, I believe was some sort of Canon. It was a Canon that was sold to me by my friend Sumner. And I, again, wouldn't recommend that because the camera that I'm going to recommend to you guys is going to be a lot better for starting. But yeah, this is the Canon that I use. Again, guys, it really doesn't matter where you're starting from. Even an iPhone is going to be better than this. So, when you're first getting started, I would just recommend starting with an iPhone. Don't worry so much about super high quality tech. For me, you can obviously see my stuff was not, the best at all. I am really freaking glad that I recorded this stuff because looking back at it now, I'm like, oh shit, I get to see, how I grew up. This is pretty cool. I'm kind of going down memory lane. But then after that, let's keep going. After the Canon, what I ended up getting was a Sony A5100. So this is what the camera looked like. It was a Sony A5100. Now, I don't even think they sell these anymore. I think they sell a updated version. Yeah, this is the version. This is the camera that I got. And it was pretty damn solid for a very long time. I don't know. Yeah, you can get this for about $600. Now, I'm not going to recommend you get this one because there actually is a newer version of this that I would recommend instead. But this camera was the camera that I was filming with around this time here, actually. Okay, so let's just say, this is the camera that I was filming with at this time. It was pretty decent. It was definitely a better upgrade since from the Canon. Yeah, definitely. I had no idea how to film myself at all, filming myself way too close. I don't even know what I was doing. Yeah, I don't know. I also had a lens for this as well. So I had a 35mm lens. So I think this was a Sony 35mm prime lens. So this is my setup for a long time. There's this lens right here. Yeah, this is about it. $600. So $600 plus the $500. So about $1,200 camera setup. And this is it. And I used this for a very long time. This actually got the job done for a good while. I'm talking a few years. So this was back in, let's see. So this is back in, let's say 8 years ago. And I used this setup for a good while. And let's see. So $1,200 camera setup, it took me pretty damn far. When I got the next camera setup, it was this. Oh, actually, hold on. I stopped making YouTube videos for a good while, and I actually switched over to purely Instagram. But the next camera setup I'm going to show you real quick was an upgrade from the Sony, and it delivered this quality right here. So I upgraded from the Sony A51 to the Sony A6400. This one right here, about an $800 camera. I got this one in 2019, and then I also used the Sigma 35mm lens. I think this. I don't see it. Not this specific one. Might be. Yeah, this one. So again, another about $1,200 camera setup. I got this one in 2019, and I recently just upgraded this one. Literally this week, as I'm making this video, I'm actually just waiting for the new camera to come in. I'll show you what I got. But this camera took me very, very far, and I did just sell this camera, but this was the quality of this camera, and I used this one on Instagram from 2019 to literally today. And then recently I just upgraded to a new camera setup which is looking like this. This is the quality of the camera that I'm currently getting. And this is what I'm getting now. So it's a ZV E1. This is the body. I got this right here. So about just under $2,000. And then I got a Sigma 35 millimeter. No, it's 35. It's a 24-70. And I got this lens here. So it's about a $3,000 setup. I don't have any content with it yet because I literally have not filmed with it yet. But then the other setups that I did, so this one here, I don't actually even remember what I was filming with on this. I think this might have been the A6400 with the lens, and then I just updated it to the laptop. But for a good minute, what I also did here, if I scroll down pretty far, you're gonna have to scroll down really far. So yeah, I was using the A6400 or an A5100 here. And then I recently switched it to be a webcam. So it hooked up to my laptop, but the quality was absolute dog shit. Just did not look very good at all. So I updated this to the ZV-E1, which is what you guys are seeing now on my YouTube video. So it looks like this. Oops. So this is the camera quality I have now. This is with the ZV-E1 and a 16mm lens on my laptop as a webcam. So that's pretty much been my journey. It started with an iPhone. Then it went to a really shitty Canon that I bought off of a friend. Then it went to a A5100 with a 35mm lens. Then went to a A6400 with a 35mm lens. Now we are at a ZV-E1 with a 24-70mm lens. So that is the journey. Now, you might be asking, Zach, I'm getting really into this. I'm not quite sure what kind of camera setup I should get, what the best, bang for my buck would be. If I was just getting started, this is what I would start with. So I would get the Sony ZV-E10. This is the camera that Megan currently has. It is it's the younger version of the ZV-E1. So the ZV-E1, I'll show you right here, is about $2,000 on the cheaper end, about $3,000 on the full spec end. But this here is like the starter version of that same camera. The quality looks exactly like this, because this is what I shot with. So this was Megan's ZV-E10. I haven't got the ZV-E1. This is the camera quality here. So, it's a really, really solid bang for your buck. I wouldn't get the 5100. I wouldn't get a 6400 because those are now obsolete. This is the new version of those cameras. And so this is where I would start. And then as far as a lens go, what I would get is a, 35mm prime lens for Sony E-mount. I would get something like this. This would be fine, 35mm, 35mm, a G Master. So this is like the more expensive version. I would do some reviews on this to figure it out, but a 35mm lens will give you this, clean, sharp quality with a blurred background. So yeah, if you want to be, clean and crystal clear with a blurred background, give you a little bit of compression on the depth, that's what I would get. That would be the camera set. If I was starting from day one today, that would be the setup that I get for my fitness business. So Sony ZV-E10 with a 35mm lens, that would be like perfect. Right. So I hope you guys got value out of this. I know I yapped for a while. Pretty nice to take you down memory lane a little bit, but we'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.